You, remember that translator? Funny little lad, one eye.
I remember the air she used to score. Got you so off your tits, you ran through El Basra, naked as a jaybird.
No, mate. That was you.
Oh, Christ, was it?
Yeah. Cheers. So, what sort of extraordinarily deep shit are you in that you come shuffling up to my door in the middle of the night?
Thought maybe you could help me find her.
Oof, tasty. Who is she?
It's my wife.
Someone married you?
Yeah, afraid so. Thought maybe you could put some feelers out, you know? Get some of the old intel boys. Higgins, a squarer.
All respect, yeah? Doesn't seem to me like your girl wants to be found.
Look, are you gonna help me or not?
Of course I am. We're mates, aren't we? Cheers.
Ordering pizza, are we?
Take it easy, mate. Plotters are on their way.
You shouldn't have done that, Chuck.
You topped that Stillwell woman on the telly. You're gonna top your wife as well.
I didn't kill no one.
Come on, Billy.
Hey, train, you're out.
Out of what?
Out of 7.
How many more people have to die?
What are we gonna do? We're gonna sit around and cross our fingers that Homelander's gonna save us?
I'm at my wit's end. I'm the face of the 7, not you!
Wait, I found Becca. Bought facility, armed to the teeth. Won't be easy.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This is going to be my video for The Boys Season 2 short movie. Obviously, this is all about Butcher's character. It's meant to fill in that gap of time in Episode 1 before he shows up, but after Homelander dumps him in that parking lot. We've also got a bunch of footage from the next couple of episodes, so we'll break it all down. There's a bunch of Easter eggs. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get everything. Obviously, my Episode 4 video will post tomorrow, too. Careful for spoilers for everything that's happened on The Boys so far. But just starting at the beginning of this footage, I'll talk about the short movie stuff and the Easter eggs first, then I'll talk about the trailer footage. So like I said, it starts with Butcher being dumped in the parking lot of that family restaurant a couple of states away. Just because Homelander is mean like that, he literally flew him a couple states away just to dump him in the middle of nowhere. They have that awkward comedy of the hostess seeing him on the news broadcast while he's frantically writing down details of Becca's whereabouts with the crayon on the menu. Then he takes off, hotwires a car, and takes it to his old squad mate's house from the military. I can't tell if they're supposed to be Kiwis or Australians based on their dialect, but it should be clear from the way that they talk to each other about their history together in the picture of them from the war that they fought together for Australia or for New Zealand, either in Iraq or Afghanistan. The Boys comic book was actually being published while all those wars were going on 10 plus years ago, so the war references that it made were to older wars. The Boys TV show, because it's happening now, has just been moved up in the timeline a little, so it references more recent conflicts. They said that they were filming this during the first couple of episodes, but it just didn't work inside the episode that they wanted to put it in, so they just turned it into its own short movie by itself. But pretty much the same thing that happened at the restaurant happens between Butcher and his former squad mate. His squad mate hears Vought's fake story being broadcast about Butcher killing Stillwell, which we know didn't happen on the news, and believes it rather than believing Butcher. He says it's because he saw what Butcher did during the war, just implying that he was super hardcore when they were in the military. And because this is all supposed to be happening before the events of episode 2 and 3, where Butcher went crazier and crazier on Huey, even threatening to kill him if anyone else got in his way of trying to find Becca, you can kind of see how this would have helped set that up a little bit more, explaining more of Butcher's backstory and how he used to be really, really crazy in the war. There's this whole idea that they were setting up in the first couple of episodes about Butcher getting darker and darker, his methods getting more and more hardcore, just like Homelander getting more and more WTF. It's just that the first couple of episodes, Homelander was doing that with milk, getting crazier and crazier with the milk, which somehow seems even worse than all the stuff that Butcher is doing and him beating the crap out of the Marvel Daredevil parody character and lasering all those random people left and right. But speaking of milk, Mother's Milk literally has that conversation with Butcher in the tunnels during episode 3 about him going too far, so it's more a question of what's going to happen once they do find Becca, because there is footage in that episode 4 trailer of Becca on the street looking like she might wind up being reunited with Butcher pretty soon, or at least they find out where she is. But moving into the footage from the rest of the season that they have in the trailer here, it mostly focuses on hyping the inevitable confrontation between Homelander and Stormfront in Vought's tower here. But Stormfront has this rally where it seems like she starts stoking the people's fears, trying to get the public to demand Vought use more Compound V to create even more superheroes to protect them from the quote-unquote supervillains that are coming to get them, the totally fake supervillains that we know that Vought is inadvertently creating, because they were also created with the same Compound V that Vought controls. Remember, the whole thing here is that the public is getting ready to turn on Vought unless they talk real fast. Now it seems like Stormfront has this plan to do that, to get the public to demand that they create more supers, so it's a good thing now suddenly that they have Compound V. But Homelander doesn't know anything about this. She's playing this 4-dimensional chess game that he just doesn't totally understand. So Homelander's watching this broadcast of her, thinking that she's calling him out like he won't be able to save them. You think Homelander's going to be able to save you? As if she's calling him impotent or something like that, challenging his supremacy. But clearly it's just her playing the public like a fiddle in order to help Vought. Remember, the whole thing in the first couple of episodes is just revealing how much of a degenerate she really is. She's a full-blown neo-Nazi. Somehow, she's even worse than Homelander, all the crazy stuff that we've seen him do. So it just seems like this fight between the two of them comes to a boil before she reveals what she's really doing, the long game that she's really playing, and it seems like he probably winds up enjoying that quite a bit. You have to imagine he's probably going to be super turned on by all of her kinks, and think about what a degenerate she is and what kind of kinks that she has if Homelander has all these crazy milk kinks. It also seems like Homelander wants to kick A-Train out of the 7, and maybe that's how he winds up in this scene here from the trailer, hanging out with the Deep in the middle of nowhere, Ohio. He also has that whole side plot with Starlight going on where they're both caught in a lie trying to hide it from the rest of the 7, and clearly on the other side of that, Homelander has had it with Starlight because of what happened in the tunnels. He doesn't trust her at all, so she's also on thin ice. There's been a lot of questions about which people within the 7 will help turn to the boys and help them take down the rest of the 7 and Vought. There's just a couple characters that could go either way at this point, including Queen Maeve. They also hype up Kimiko versus Stormfront for the rest of the season. The way the actors talk about it, the boys and Butcher are all focused on Becca getting her back and taking down the 7 and Vought for good, but Kimiko clearly doesn't care about any of that. She only cares about ripping Stormfront in half for killing her brother, and clearly does not mind trying to go after her in broad daylight in the middle of this crowd. So this will be interesting, just going after her while she's on national television in a crowd full of people. Then it seems like Butcher finally learns where Becca is exactly, but it's not really clear if they meet up at the end of the episode or if it's going to happen in a future episode. Because she's on CCTV footage here, it seems like she's still somewhere in the suburbs, so she hasn't made it out of this sort of compound area that she's stuck in with her son. I'm still really fascinated to see what's going to happen between Homelander and his son as well, because it definitely seems like he's burned or is burning that bridge. And if there's anyone that's going to be powerful enough to fight him, it would be his son. But clearly his son doesn't completely know about his powers yet. But just a big reminder, my episode 4 video and Easter eggs will post on Friday. Each of the rest of the episodes through the finale will air once per week each Friday. But as long as you have alerts enabled for my channel, you'll see all those videos when I post them, so no worries. It seems like most people were able to find my episode 1 through 3 video over the course of last week. Everyone click here for that video, and then click here for my brand new Chadwick Boseman Black Panther 2 video. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe. I'll see you guys tonight.